close can I get to some of these bugs? Oh, I can actually get pretty close.
Oh yeah, you should be.
Pretty cool. Well, I mean, it's Facebook streaming. Oh, something just flew in my eye. Welcome to those. Yeah, welcome to those who are coming on. We're just going to wait for some more people to show up before we get started here. I'll just show you. In the meantime, we'll just do a little bit of bug watching while we wait. Is that Susan? Hi, Susan. Susan, I brought a jar full of, what is it, cherry laurel, you said?
Yeah.
Cherry laurel leaves, which apparently will slow them down a little bit so you can take some pictures.
You leave them in too long, it'll kill them. But...
Yes, don't leave them in too long. We got 15 people on, 18 people on already. That's pretty good. To those of you who are just signing on, just chill, relax. You're going to wait for a few more people. Come on. Man, I don't think Facebook live stream really does all that great in the dark. All right, so let's get going here. So, hi everybody that's showing on. Looks like we already got about 25 people on. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Aaron Stoller with the Environmental Science program at Stockton University, and this is my live streaming series. Tonight I'm out here with Dr. Jamie Cromartie, who is Professor Emeritus at Stockton University, taught entomology, ecology, and what else did you teach?
Oh, various other things in environmental studies over the years.
Yeah, so he's one of the long timers at Stockton, and one of the greats. So tell you what, Jamie, before we start looking at some bugs, we're gonna just step away from the sheet for a little bit to let some organisms settle. Why don't I don't know if I can focus in on. Oh yeah, I can. There's Jamie. Okay. So I'm gonna just hold the camera at arm's length. We're all wearing masks here. So yeah. Jamie, why don't you just tell me a little bit about? Actually, could you turn off your headlamp?
Oh, sorry about that.
Let's see if that works. Yeah, there we go. So Jamie, could you just tell me a little bit about this setup that we have here?
Yeah, this is a mercury vapor light. It emits a lot of ultraviolet radiation, and insects are particularly sensitive to ultraviolet light. So this light is very visible to them. And when insects are flying at night, they orient themselves by light. And normally, prior to the advent of artificial night lights, well, actually prior to the advent of human beings lighting candles and fires and lanterns and things like that, about the only light at night that was bright enough to affect the insects was the moon. Now, if you've ever ridden in a car at night along a highway where you could see the moon, you go for mile after mile down a straight highway, and the moon is always shining through the same side of your car. You don't leave it behind you as you drive along.
So does that allows organisms to orient themselves?
They fly in a straight line,
right,
by keeping the moon always at the same angle. And of course, the insect eye, which is multifaceted, they can maintain that simply by making sure that the moon is striking the same facets of the eye. And so the point of the light is that as they come in, they try to maintain, as they fly along, they try to keep that light at the same angle. Well, if you're trying to do that with something that's close to you as opposed to something that's very far away, you fly in a spiral.
So does that explain
always
why...
trying to keep the light over, if you try to walk around this light, always trying to keep it at your shoulder, what you'll find is you have to turn.
Sorry, I got to keep the camera close to you or you got to scream, Jamie.
You have to turn to keep that light over your shoulder. So each time you take a step, you turn, keeping your shoulder to the light. You're going to find yourself coming into the light.
So they get all sorts of screwed up in their orientation trying to direct themselves as they normally would with moonlight. So what we're doing, we have this really intense, what is it, a sulfur lamp you said?
No, mercury vapor.
Oh,
one of those.
a mercury vapor lamp. Yeah, so don't break one. We'll have
They used to be street lights, but they're not used as street lights anymore.
Okay.
For a variety of reasons. They're not very energy efficient.
But they're bright.
They've gotten a lot of bad press because some people blame the decline of our large moths like the silk moths on mercury vapor streetlights because they pull the moths in and disrupt their activity. But the other problem is they probably make it a lot easier for things like bats to catch them at night.
Now you say their activity, what are they doing at night?
Well, most of them probably are mating, but they may be laying eggs as well.
So mating and laying eggs.
Yeah.
All right.
The long distance, the traveling like that in a straight line is probably trying to get either to new food sources or to mate.
So for everybody that's tuning in, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, oh, we've got a beautiful moth hanging out right there. As always, please ask questions, shoot out comments, tell us where you're from, all that jazz. We love to hear from you. And if you want us to explain anything, by all means. This is going to constantly change. We don't know what we're going to get. We've already got a few good moths out here. We've had a bunch of rain over the past couple days, and so we're not really sure how that's going to affect. Actually, Jamie is probably pretty sure. He's kind of an expert on this. Yeah, so what we have here is essentially an old mercury vapor lamp that's attracting insects. We're fooling them to come onto this white sheet. Now, why it's a white sheet? Well, that's because that's so that they don't hang onto the light itself. They can actually safely rest on the sheet, correct?
Yeah. Well, they need some place. This lands, and then the other thing, of course, is that if you were a serious lepidopterist, you would use this to collect them.
A lepidopterist is a butterfly person.
Moths and butterflies.
Not that the person is a butterfly, just that it's a person who studies butterflies.
And moths.
And moths, yes, lepidopterans.
Important.
All right, so right now we're actually at Jamie's house, and he's got this amazing setup because, of course, he's devoted his life to studying insects. He's told us some great stories of his adventures over the years. So he's got a nice little professional setup, but I got to tell you, if you want to do this on your own, you can very easily. I don't know if you'll attract nearly as much, but you could get yourself a fluorescent lamp, hang it out. He's got, I believe it's a battery pack. Yeah?
No, this is connected. This is
oh, he's got. Okay, so
power.
this is connected to this is connected to house power, but you could connect it to a battery box. He's going to open it up. Mara, it's a lepidopterist. Does this affect my why we had? I'm sorry, I'm getting light in my eyeballs from this thing, so I can't read it as well. No, it's okay. We had neighborhood mosquito spraying by truck sprayer last night. Does this affect my moth residence? Likely, he says. So wait, I got to show them the power source here. How is it?
That's called a ballast.
Oh, this is the ballast. Okay.
This is what
okay. So we've got a pretty intense. All right. So show us stuff. What do we got?
Well,
let's look at this big one. Oh man, that's a beaut right there.
that's a large carpenter worm moth.
A large carpenter worm moth.
Unusual in that the larva of that moth bores into wood. It doesn't eat leaves like most caterpillars do.
Huh. So it bores into wood instead of eating leaves.
Yeah, there are a few that do that.
Now, as the adult form, as the moth form, is it eating?
I don't know if that one eats at all as an adult.
So it's not eating. It's there just here. I'll give you a size reference too, just so people have an idea. Hopefully, it won't fly away. That's how big it is. So Right. The adult forms of a lot of these are designed for mating and flying, and that's about it. But it's the larvae, the caterpillars that are, you call a larval moth a caterpillar, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, caterpillars that that are doing all the eating and the growing. So just point out whenever we come across something that's invasive, I know that people would like to know, so just let us know. But this is native.
That's a native, yeah.
That's native. What is this beautiful emerald one right here? We got it's a hemipteran. It looks like
that little stink bug. Does it have a white dot on the back?
It does.
That's a stink bug or a pentatomid bug.
A stink bug or a pentatomid?
Or a shield bug.
A shield bug.
That one
Okay.
probably feeds on plants. Some of them are predators, but I think that group are plant feeders.
Now that's not a moth. That's a hemipteran.
It's a true bug.
That's a true bug.
Right.
All right. All right.
There's the Ditana moth.
This one around it right here.
Ditana, yeah.
Oh, sorry. That one's really pretty. A
Now
Ditana moth.
That name Ditana is the genus name of the moth. The first part of the scientific name. And I can't give you the second part of the scientific name because those moths in the field are generally not separable as to species.
Okay.
They all look alike. And there are quite a few species. One is called the yellow-necked caterpillar moth, and it feeds on apple. There's another one called, the scientific name is Ditana major, and you see them feeding on some of the shrubs that are common here in the pine barrens.
Okay.
Yeah. So they like a shrub called fetterbush.
Fetterbush.
Yeah.
That's a new one for me.
Lacothoe racemosa.
Oh, excuse all the species names. He's like a dictionary of species.
And the caterpillars are interesting because they're gregarious, and when you disturb them, they rear themselves backwards into a C shape, like a yoga position.
We didn't see that on camera. Can you do that one more time? Yo, C-shaped yoga position. That's the, got it. So,
and they occur in groups. That's what it means to say they're gregarious. Some of these other ones I don't know. One of the pest things is come around on that side and show them the stink bug.
So someone asked, and Lorianne, I'll get to your or one of you, I'll get to your questions about what is invasive. Somebody asked what, I thought all stink bugs were brown.
Well, and there's a good example of a brown one.
Hang on, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go get my, my light so that I can shine it on some of the, yeah, there we go. There we go, there we go. So that's what most people associate as a stink bug, but there's lots of different stink bugs, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very large group.
And so stink bugs are not always brown. It's just those brown ones that get annoying in the summertime. People and we've got plenty of them.
They also overwinter in your house.
Yeah. What is this moth right here?
That's the one I couldn't get.
Oh,
no, wait, that's probably an armyworm moth.
An armyworm moth. Man, I'm telling you what, I'm learning stuff here.
They're called armyworms, but they are, I think it's because they're migratory. They're an example of a migratory moth. So they don't winter in this area. Although actually some of these, you do find those pretty late in the year. But some of them, they come up from the south. There are quite a number of those that are agricultural pests.
Sorry, for those of you that can't hear Jamie all that well, I know I'm trying to do both. Get near him and the light at the same time. So Lorianne asks, how bright is this light? Do we have a
I have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know. It's really, really bright. Don't stare at it
for very long.
And somebody else asked, what does invasive mean? And I'm happy to answer that. You know, I'll give my one. Oh, we got a damselfly hovering around too. You know what? Let's go up on the damselfly first. Are there any ticks? Of course there's ticks. We're in the Pine Barrens. Oh, he's flying away.
The damselfly, there's one that's sitting still.
Oh,
here.
okay.
For the moment.
Oh yeah, there you go. So damselflies, their adult form, of course, is going to have this slender body, and then dragonflies are going to have that big fat body. Their larval form is actually aquatic. If you look up the larval form of these guys, they don't look at all like their adults. So somebody asked what invasive is, and I'll be happy to give a quick explanation of that, but I'm sure that Jamie would have a slightly different opinion. It's actually kind of a matter of philosophy for a lot of ecologists. But I think one definition of invasive would be something that is not native to the area and it causes harm and disruption to how an ecosystem works. That would be in contrast to something that is simply not native, like the honeybee, but doesn't necessarily cause a lot of damage. There's another one of your stink bugs. You're more common. I'm just going to go back on this guy. He is really, really beautiful. What did you call this one again?
That's the carpenter worm.
The carpenter worm moth. Oh, that's right, because it eats wood instead of leaves. What is this black and white one right here?
If it's got a mottled pattern, I can't see it.
Yeah, it's a mottled pattern.
Oh, that's a Hebrew moth.
A Hebrew moth.
Right. Very common. They come to light a lot. One of the things you're almost always sure to see.
And what about this yellow one up here? Slightly.
That one I'm not sure about. There is a yellow one somewhere here that's called the black-bordered lemon moth.
The black-bordered lemon moth. Man, we come up with some
skiff moth.
Skiff moth. I'm going to come around here.
Now I think, did we scare away the slug caterpillar moth? No,
oh yeah, it's still sitting there. I'll come back around. A skiff? Did you say skiff?
S-K-I-F-F. Don't ask me why.
Skiff moth. Really, really pretty. Now, guys, Jamie knows his insects, right? I mean, he is just an expert in this, and so he can identify a lot of stuff. But before this, we were actually just taking pictures. He was taking pictures and going on to iNaturalist, just like many of you might do. So, if you would like to set up a system like this at your home, really, just get a fluorescent light and old white bed sheet. Set it up somehow, drape it over, and you'll get some insects, and then just sit out there with your kids or by yourself, bring a beer if you want to, and just pull out your camera and start going with iNaturalist. It's free. You can start identifying everything. It's a great little hobby. So what was this one called again?
This one?
Yeah.
That's a slug caterpillar.
A slug
it's
caterpillar.
Actually, related to the other one. Let's see. That one is in the genus Parasa. Parasa.
The genus Parasa.
Yeah. Let's see if I've got it here.
And what did you say all these little black...
Yeah, it's in the same family as the skiff moth. You see the shape is very similar.
Same family as the skiff moth.
And that one, let's see, I think that's...
Barbara asks, what is this little black beetle called?
Oh, it's not a beetle, it's a bug. If
right.
you look really carefully, you'll see that you see a clear spot at the end of the body?
Right, yeah.
That's the little bit of the end of the wing that's not hard and leathery.
Okay.
Which is why the group that it belongs to is called Hemiptera. It means half wing.
Oh, okay. So hemipterans are half wings,
right,
like muggles, which are half bloods. Sorry, muggles are all bloods. What's J-Man's favorite insect?
My favorite insect.
I'm just impressed that you know what J-Man was.
Oh, I took a wild guess. I think that was just somebody's problem picking up the hearing clearly. I'm not sure I have a favorite. I have several favorite groups. Most of them don't come to light. So I'll tell you one I love to see at the light, though, is the
psychedelic?
Is the antlion.
Oh, the antlion.
And the owlfly.
What was the one that you were
And
saying
the
you had
other one
hoped
that
up?
I really like is the mantis fly, but we haven't had one yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, wait a minute. He
no.
just showed up.
Yeah. Oh, no, that...
I don't think that's the guy that was...
Yeah, no, that's a different one.
Let me get close.
Let me see if I can...
Oh. Now this is a nice group. That's a sphinx moth.
Oh, a sphinx moth. Okay, that's the one moth I think I know.
That's an azalea sphinx.
An azalea sphinx. Is it called an azalea sphinx because it likes to eat azaleas?
Yep, basically it eats rhododendron.
Okay.
I think. I'm not sure if there are not more things. Now this should be your guy, right? That's a caddisfly. He won't settle down easily. It takes a while for the moths to settle down. Do you
Much
see
like
the
me.
caddisfly?
I don't want to intrude on your space. Oh, that guy right there?
Yeah, now I don't know the families of adult cat. Well, I don't even know the families of
So the reason why he said it's my guy is because I study aquatic ecology, and caddisflies are predominantly aquatic larvae.
That's a good one. I'm going to see if I can get this one.
Which one?
One of the nice things about this is you can take your picture and give it to iNaturalist right away.
Right. So you can identify things.
You step back and keep showing them stuff. I'm going to step over here and send them.
We lost the expert. He's too busy identifying things. That's the mark of a true scientist right there.
That shows you that I'm not really an expert, because a real expert knows them cold without having...
No, the real expert is always willing to admit that they don't know that much.
I'm glad you see that way.
The real expert never tries to know everything. By the way, just in case you're wondering, I'm also out here with my friend Susan, who's taking some pictures for us. So we've got some background support. So you can always swing around to the back side of the cloth too, especially if it's a low thread count. You could always find some stuff on the back side. And seriously, just see, we've got J-Man. This is what a scientist looks like, folks. We lost him. Oh, God. Beautiful, man. Really, really pretty. Let's see what else we can find. We've got a lot of little grasshoppers. Is that what these are? Grasshoppers, yeah? I can never remember crickets versus grasshoppers.
You know,
Jamie, what's a cricket versus a grasshopper?
Oh, that's big difference.
Big difference.
Now, ask me to describe the difference in words, and I can't.
Oh, yeah, so you can't describe it in words, but there's a difference. What are we going to find on the sheet? Crickets or grasshoppers, or both?
You might find both, but usually you're seeing grasshoppers.
Okay, so grasshoppers. So it's likely that we have grasshoppers here. Okay, so that's, yeah, okay, so that's a grasshopper. We've got a bunch of little tiny leaf hoppers too. And there's the small guys are all going to be gnats, G-A-N-A-T, or I guess midges. Is there a difference between gnats and midges? We really lost Jamie.
Oh, that's interesting.
Did we identify something?
Spragia Leo.
Spragia.
Spragia moth. Where did he go?
You talking about the large one?
No, it was a little guy. This is a grasshopper.
Okay, so it was a
That's
grasshopper.
These are they're short-horned grasshoppers. You can
Just
tell they don't
the
have
one with the leaves
long-
in there is the one with the.
Oh, look at this. They don't have long antennae.
Grasshoppers don't have long antennae?
No, short-horned grasshoppers, as the name implies, do not have long antennae.
Bill asks, are any butterflies nocturnal?
Butterflies?
Are any butterflies nocturnal?
Oh. I have once in a while had a butterfly come to the light, but offhand I can't think which one.
So once in a while, he says.
But that's not their normal, that's not the normal pattern at all.
So I think what we're going to do here is just step away. And kind of stop intruding on everything's business here. Let's go over to Susan. She's taking some pictures.
so we've got the macro lens today with a flash inside, so
Whoa.
we get a portrait
Was not
of the
expecting
bugs.
the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, so the light bounces in this white box, and you can get a portrait of any of the bugs or creatures that you put in
So I
here.
see you bought this box on Amazon.com.
Actually, it's just foam core that
Yeah,
you can get
I
at
know.
Michael's. But Amazon does use this technique to photograph their products.
Right. So if you've ever seen sort of those what are those pictures called? My animal neighbor or something.
Oh, Meet Your Neighbors.
Yeah, where that's just a white background. And here, I'll get this light away.
Actually, can I borrow that light? Oh, that's perfect. That helps me focus.
So if you've ever seen those white pictures with the soft white background and just the insect, this is kind of similar to the box that they use. You would have a more rounded back end.
We just have a pocket wizard right here so that you can take your flash off of your camera and have it still fire.
Yeah. So guys, this isn't. I mean, she's got a pretty nice camera. Because this is her business, but if you guys wanted to start doing this on your own, you can just use one of those Nikon SLRs that you can buy for $500, $600, or if you really wanted to try, you could do something with your smartphone, but you're not going to get great pictures.
But it's a super fun way to get detail shots of the insects and then zoom in and see all the details so you can identify them.
Need a macro lens. Need a macro lens.
This little guy here. Oh, now look, there's a longhorn grasshopper now.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, look at those antennae. Look at those antennae.
And that's what you're hearing singing too, if you can hear.
Oh, really? Not. Yeah, they might be able to hear. Such a small little critter makes such a loud noise.
Well, that's an immature.
So
what I really meant was that the things that are making the noise are members of the same family of hoppers.
Oh, okay.
Are we hearing katydids?
Yeah, they're katydids.
So katydids. Why aren't katydids coming to the light?
I have tinnitus now, and I can't tell if I'm hearing other things as well. Oh no, I'm pretty sure I'm also hearing crickets.
Lorianne, Jamie says he's hearing crickets. We think katydids.
Definitely katydids.
Grasshoppers. And, me.
I once was visited by 2 graduate students from somewhere in the
Is this
Midwest.
that thing that's related to the skiff moth right there?
That is the skiff moth.
Oh, that is the skiff moth. Okay.
The other one is the other one that you're almost stepping on is the one that's related to it. The green guy that you like.
Oh, yeah. I like that guy.
That's a slug caterpillar moth.
That I'm stepping on. Sorry. How come I can never figure out which way the throttle goes on this camera? I go up and it goes back down, and I go down and it goes back up. Oh, check this beetle out. What's this one, Jamie?
Oh, we got a new one coming in?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let me come around over here. I think that's another, that's a scarab beetle.
A scarab beetle.
And it might be, scarab beetles come in many varieties. Yeah. The Japanese beetle is the one most people know.
The Japanese beetle is the one. Oh, are you talking about
those green guys that eat your shrubbery and whose
I thought those are called June bugs.
Well, all the things like this generically are called June bugs.
Oh, okay. But the one that's shiny and green.
The ones in the genus Falafel.
Falafel?
Yeah.
Like falafel, but
like
good.
There's a green June bug too. But I think they're done flying.
You know, the nice thing about wearing masks while doing all of this is I'm not swallowing any insects for the first time.
Oh, yeah, you are definitely standing in what we call the splash zone.
Oh, yeah. He's calling it the splash zone.
Well, that was the name my students made up.
I'm looking for anything new for you guys. Now, a lot of the stuff that we have on here, like I said, are going to be midges and some gnats. And we definitely have some ants, some flying ants. Got a couple ladybugs, bunch of grasshoppers. If we've got any middle schoolers or if we've got any elementary schoolers hopping around, send something out. Why does the cicada only come around every 17 years? Well, there's actually multiple different species of cicadas, and there's a 17-year cicada, there's a 10-year cicada, and you know, they're still doing research on as to why the 17-year cicada only comes out every 17 years. There's a couple of hypotheses. Jamie, do you know what the most current thought is?
It probably is predator satiation. They all come out at once. There are too many for the things that eat them to eat. Cicadas normally, even the cicadas that come out every year, like the dog day cicadas that you hear right now singing in the daytime, have long life cycles, usually of 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Now, how it is that the 17-year locust got, but they think it evolved from the 13-year locust.
Okay.
And in fact, there are sister pairs of species that are 13-year and 17-year that are more closely related to each other than some of the 17-year species are to each other.
Okay.
They're actually, I'm not sure because I don't know the count now, but I think there are 4 species of 17-year.
There's 4 different species of 17 years, so there's 4. So
yeah,
even a 17-year cicada is not just one species.
Not only that, but there's 17. There's 17 or 16. There's almost 17 broods.
17 broods,
which means somewhere in this country, every year, 17-year cicadas come out.
So somewhere it's always cicada o'clock.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I did not know that, folks. Julianne, hi. We've got someone in 5th grade. That's awesome. Hi, Julianne. That's great. So I did not know this. There's actually everywhere in this country there's a cicada. There every year somewhere in this country there's going to be cicadas coming out. Huh. So ecologically speaking, he mentioned this term predator satiation. So let me explain that to you guys. So when cicadas come out, they come out by the millions, and they're really easy prey for for almost anything. Like they're just juicy little chicken McNuggets of the cicada forest, and pretty much anything will eat them. So they come on out, and they come on, everything eats them, and it's just an attempt for at least maybe like 5% of them to actually mate and produce the next generation of cicadas. It's kind of like, hey, you know what? It's like a school of fish. There's your thought. It's a school of fish. So some of them will be eaten, but most of them will not if they all go at once. All right? So it's like a insect school. Not one where they learn stuff, but one where they avoid the shark, which is the birds and stuff. Man, I'm bad at analogies tonight. I think I need more coffee. Lorianne says, got my 5th grader. I have no idea how to correctly pronounce that name, so I'm not going to try to butcher it. And a 7th grader Girl Scout cadet. Wait. Oh, what's a Weebelo?
That's a Cub Scout.
Oh, it's a Cub Scout. So that's not a name.
Nope.
That makes more sense. Ugh. You can tell I don't have children.
Or that you weren't a Cub Scout.
Or that I wasn't a Cub Scout.
Oh. Go around on the other side and find the cycnia.
The what?
The delicate cycnia.
He says that like I know what he's talking about.
It's a little roundish winged moth.
A little...
About 1.5 inches long.
A little roundish winged... Oh, I got it.
It's white, right?
So it's called a cycnia?
Yep.
Is that its common name?
It's called the delicate cycnia.
The delicate cycnia. Man, that's really pretty. What's the difference between a moth and a butterfly?
Well, generally, butterflies are diurnal,
Butterflies are diurnal.
light-bodied, skinny-bodied.
Okay. Skinny-bodied, light-bodied.
They have simple antennae,
Simple antennae, that's what butterflies.
simple straight antennae.
Okay.
So unlike some moths, they don't have big feathery antennae.
Okay, so moths tend to have big feathery antennae. What? Oh, moths tend to have big bodies.
Yeah, or big bodies.
All right.
But it's also true that butterflies and their relatives, the skippers, they form a single group, but they're embedded within the moth, the order Lepidoptera.
Okay.
So they're not definitely a separate branch, separate from all moths. They're simply a group of families of diurnal moths.
Diurnal meaning?
Meaning they're largely daytime.
Okay, so diurnal meaning daytime.
Yeah.
Sarah asks, if you could be any kind of bug, what would you be?
Right.
She asked this to you and you. I mean, she technically asked it to me, but...
Well, if you want to live a long life, you could be a 17-year cicada. On the other hand.
Yeah, but then you have to live it completely underground.
That's true. I suppose almost everybody would rather be a butterfly.
Would you rather be a butterfly?
Well, certainly then I'd rather be a butterfly than a grub.
I'd rather be I'd rather be that gigantic beetle that you find in the jungle.
Ah, well, that would be too.
What about you?
I was thinking Luna moth.
Luna moth.
Yeah.
See, there's
Luna moth.
I'm hoping one shows up tonight.
You know what? I'm just gonna go for like a stonefly. Spend most of my life in the stream and then fly out and get smashed by a windshield. That's what I'm gonna do. All right. Lorianne asks, what's the difference between a bug and an insect?
Well, a true bug is a kind of insect.
A true bug is a kind of insect. Well, all of them have 6 legs. All of them have 6 legs. He's just fiddling around on iNaturalist.
I was trying to find an explanation.
You can keep on doing it. It's hilarious. You just
Everything you see here.
let this be a lesson to you.
All
All right.
An insect.
Just let this be a lesson to you. You're going to be a scientist. You're going to spend your entire life just questioning things and staring at your phone.
Now that is what's called a true bug.
A hemipteran.
Right.
That's the
order
stink bug.
Hemiptera consists of the true bugs.
Now that's got a hard outer case, but it's got that flap of uncovered wing on its back.
Right.
Right. Whereas a beetle is going to have a complete case on its back, that case called an elytra.
But what really distinguishes this group from others is the fact that they have a beak instead of
Is that called a
chewing
proboscis?
mouthparts. It could be called that.
Oh no, what's the actual term for it? It's a prosternal horn or something?
No, prosternal horn would be a thing that's stuck out of the top of the bug,
Oh, okay.
like you see on a rhinoceros beetle.
Oh, I think I got a mosquito.
Actually, that wouldn't be right either because the sternum is the underside.
You know, that is interesting. You notice what we don't have out here is mosquitoes. Where are all the mosquitoes?
Oh, they're not particularly attracted to light.
They're not attracted to light.
Attracted to carbon dioxide and things in sweat. And aside from that, we're just lucky that there aren't any mosquitoes out tonight to bite us. Oh, we got a big one. But you're going to have to be patient. Oh, wait a minute. Is that just the azalea sphinx again?
No, is it?
Oh, it's a catalpa sphinx.
A catalpa sphinx? Oh my god, I'm so old, my knees cracking. A catalpa sphinx.
Yep.
Jess says, I'd like to be a Virginia tiger moth, but spiritually I am a cicada. Alright. I mean, I'm curious about the reasoning there. Why spiritually a cicada? Oh, what's this, we got one of those, one of the ones that's pink and yellow. What's that? I always call it the cotton candy moth.
Rosy maple?
The rosy maple moth.
Well, it could be that, or you could be lucky and really lucky and have a pink star moth, or you could be really, really lucky and have, no, what's it called? But that's a winter moth. You wouldn't see that now. No, that's a rosy maple moth.
A rosy maple moth.
Triocampa rubicunda.
Look at it, it's so fuzzy.
He's related to the. No,
I wanna pet it.
He's not related to the.
Can I just pet it?
He's related to the. Yeah, sure, you can try.
I want to pet its head. It's so fuzzy. No, I'm gonna leave it alone. You don't damage
I
the.
have a question. Did you try the jar with the leaves to see if it would knock anything in?
I did a little bit.
Did it slow him down?
Yes.
Well, folks, I think we're gonna hang on here just a couple more minutes and see if we come up with anything else. If anybody has any questions, like any thoughts on how you might want to set this up on your own, just ask a question, let us know. If you're tuning in later on and you have a question, feel free to post something in the chat. I'm going to monitor the chat stream afterwards, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Lorianne asks, how different would this be in the wintertime?
You would be wasting your time.
You would be wasting your time.
But not if you were putting out bait.
Oh, that's right. He put out some bait for the insects.
Oh, man,
Tell us about the bait.
We have to hike back there if we want to.
Oh, you know what? We can't sign off now. We got to go for a hike.
All right.
All right, let's go for a hike. We're going to go look at the bait. I have no idea what insect bait is.
Because you've got to be lucky to find something that will stay
Man,
put.
Facebook's night vision is fantastic. Wow.
Better than your own?
Yeah, I mean, I can't see
It's got to
anything.
be better than mine.
And if anybody has any ideas for some future live streams, please let me know. Do this. I'll do this.
Actually, we should be good and wait for Susan. Susan, you want to come see the bait? I don't want to delay your...
Oh, no, that's okay.
We don't want your fans to be...
My fans.
to be disappointed waiting.
I don't think that these are...
If Susan wants to see them, I can give her a tour. She'd probably be an honest to test of this whole thing. My PPE is not...
So the thing that I've learned about Jamie in my short time knowing him and working with him is that when he gets excited about something, he takes off faster than you can blink. He's like a kid in a candy shop when it comes to bugs and nature. He just loves this stuff. Another mark of a true scientist. I think that's why we all do this stuff, right? Because we love it.
Let me stop and say a word or two.
Yeah.
There's basically 4 ways to study Lepidoptera. Number 1, and probably the best, is to find the caterpillars and rear them and see what they become.
So by rearing them, you have to know what they eat, though.
Well, that's because you find them on whatever you find them on is probably what
they're eating. Okay.
Not always.
So just take them in, put them into like a Tupperware container with some holes in it.
Try them on different things. The other way to do that is to get eggs from a female moth. If you know what they eat, you know what to feed them. If you don't know what they eat, you just try them on everything. There are a lot of moths for which we have no idea what they eat.
Right.
And certainly many, many more.
That's because we only find the adult form. We don't find the larval form.
And there's no way to match the two up because they don't look alike.
Right.
The only way you know is if the egg that's laid by the adult turns into the insect.
Okay.
Into the larva and then so on. So, second way is the way you already saw, use a light at night. Third way is, of course, to catch them with a net in the daytime. Or at twilight, in some cases you can do that. And the fourth way is to bring them in with bait. And that can work on both butterflies and moths. Butterflies tend to like fruity baits, although a few of them will go to meat, carrion, dead things, and a few will come to bait, to sugar bait. But the best way to catch them is with a trap that has bait and some kind of a sleeve above it, so they fly in, and then when they try to fly away, they go up into the
Oh,
trap.
okay.
And that works for both moths and butterflies. You can run it day and night.
Huh.
But the commonest way to do it is to put bait out either on trees, which is the way I'm doing it, or the other way is to make a bait and dip a piece of clothesline into it and hang it up.
Okay.
It's called a wine rope.
A wine rope?
Well, the formula is different. The bait that I made tonight is made of about a 1 part sugar to 2 or 3 parts of water.
Okay.
Some molasses.
Like
yeast,
blackstrap molasses?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeast to make it ferment so it becomes alcoholic.
Oh, so it smells. You want it to smell.
Yeah, and then usually some rotten fruit, either apples or bananas. Best to puree them in the blender and mix it in. So that's
Okay.
what this bait
And
is
just let
made
it
of.
sit out for a little bit?
I made this Wednesday and
Okay.
let it ferment. I put some out last night. It worked great. I put some more on the same trees after the rain today, and now we'll see if it's working. But
So what
I
you're
have to
looking for-
warn you that in the summertime, when moths come to bait, they're very warm and they're very quick to take off if they hear a loud noise, like a snap of a twig that you step on, any
Okay.
sudden sharp sound.
So we got to be
Or if
quiet.
you're careless with the light and sort of flash it at them, startle them in any way. So we may or may not be able to do it.
Well, I'll turn
the
off my
winter-
light.
In the winter, you believe it or not, there are moths that fly in the winter, every month of the year. Around here, if the temperature is about 50 degrees or a little warmer, they'll be out. And they will come to these same trees that you painted bait on. It's a whole different set of moths. And they're out mating and laying their eggs on shrubs, trees, whatever. And the caterpillars hatch in the spring. And part of the reason for putting the eggs on the twigs in the wintertime is then the eggs and the twigs are in the same temperature environment. And that means that they can be timed to develop at the same rate. So when the egg hatches is when the twigs, buds burst and the leaves begin to grow.
Okay.
There's a few caterpillars that feed in the wintertime by eating buds, but not many. Most of them have to have leaves. For some reason that's completely unknown to me, the only kind of tree it works to put bait on around here is pine trees.
Huh.
So there's a pine tree.
Okay.
Now there's another one around here.
Guys, I'm going to shut off my light here just so I don't risk scaring anything away. Jamie, do you know somebody named Bill Reinhardt?
I'm sure I know Bill. He was a student of mine.
Oh, man, he remembers Bill. It's back in 1976.
What have we got here?
Is this a tree that you put your bait on?
What the hell?
We got an ant swarm.
Don't let this get away.
It got away.
What's a Stockton moth doing out here in the summer?
Oh man,
That's
look at all the ants.
Oh yeah.
They're loving this bait stuff. So guys, if you wanted to make that bait yourself, I think he said it was called a wine rope.
No. The wine rope has a different formula. That's like wine and a lot of sugar.
Well, just look up something for insect bait.
I swear I wish I had a killing chuck. Come on. What are you doing?
We're on the hunt for something. Should have brought a net out. What do you think it is?
Stephen, put your light right on.
Here, do you want?
Put your light on that real bright. That's good.
It's about as bright as I can get it. Oh,
That's all right. That's all right. Never mind. I got it.
It's on me. It's on me. It's on me. Oh, Jamie, it's on the light.
That doesn't work. I can't take pictures. Hold. Never mind.
Was it on me?
Let me see if I got a shot of it. Oh, I got it.
So what do you think it was?
I think it's Stockton. But that's really weird. Maybe there's something else.
Hey, while we're walking, I want everybody out there, tell me what kind of bug you would be if you haven't said it yet. I especially want the weebelow and the cadet. What kind of bugs would you be? Ladybug. Nicole, I teach Nicole. Nicole says was just outside and saw 5 imperial moths and 3 foxes. How did you? Oh, look at all of them. Oh man, look at all of them.
I put the bait on with the paintbrush.
Get close to it. Oh man, look at them.
Those are false underwing moths.
False underwing?
Alatria ilium. There's some other things too.
Look at them. Definitely some ants. Man. Oh, that's cool. He said he put this bait on with a paintbrush. Barbara, I wouldn't go to Mexico right now. They got coronavirus pretty bad. We lost Jamie. I'm staring at the bugs and he went all the way over there. Oh boy. Oh, Jamie. He's such a kid. Oh, I wish I had a teacher like Jamie. I guess I do. Another one that you painted?
Can you see the bait? It looks different. See?
Is it on this tree right here?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, the Weeblo says a praying mantis. That's a good one. I like a praying. I mean, ladybugs are awesome. If you don't know what a ladybug larvae looks like, you should look it up. It's crazy. Look at all these ants! Oh my goodness gracious, they're eating all of this bait. Oh. Lorianne wants to know what makes a lightning bug's butt light up. That's a big old daddy long legs.
Sorry, that one has some good news to say.
There's a chemical reaction in its butt that makes it light up. It mixes 2 chemicals together. Makes it light up. I just found out that some lightning bugs are carnivorous and eat other lightning bugs.
It's aggressive mimicry. It's not just they eat other lightning bugs, it's that they mimic the females of the carnivorous species mimic the flash pattern of the females of the
Oh, that's dastardly. He said the females of the, he said the males of the carnivorous one mimic the lighting pattern of the females that they want to eat. Nicole says, did you only put the bait on pine trees? If so, why?
I don't know why, but it's the only kind that works.
He said it's the only kind that works.
You put it on an oak tree, no moth.
You put it on an oak tree and no moths.
You can put it on a sassafras tree, but it doesn't work as well.
He said you can put it on a sassafras tree, but it doesn't work as well.
It must be something to do with the composition of the bark. Now, he's got some moths here. And they're jumpy tonight. See, they're not staying in one place.
I should really stop putting my light onto these trees. It's going to scare them off.
And the other problem is they want to come to your light.
Right, so I'm gonna shut this light off here. It helps.
As long as you can see where you're walking.
Well, I can see where I'm walking, but the camera can't necessarily see, so I'm gonna... Excuse me, folks. We also have a really great night for this because there's almost no direct moonlight. Yeah, those are the katydids in the background. Did J-Man teach the bee communication class at Stockton?
No, that wasn't me.
He says that wasn't him.
I'm just casually looking to see if maybe the trees get back.
Were there any other bait trees?
Oh, there's a whole nother side to this.
Oh, man.
Sorry to make you walk all around.
Oh, I don't care.
I'm surprised how well the little guys out in the middle of the field are doing.
You mean the pine trees?
Yeah. I don't mean that the trees are doing well, but I mean that the baits were drawing in stuff. I think the lights are open.
More ants.
That's a pretty little geometric moth that I don't recognize. See how quickly they get?
Do you know about that white one?
Yeah. That was an inchworm moth.
An inchworm moth.
Those can be hard to identify even if you have a specimen.
Oh, there's moths on this one. Let's see if we can get to them.
I just took 100 photographs.
There's a big one. Is that a sphinx? No.
No, I think that's
Another
an
azalea?
army worm. That's an army worm. Oh, down there? That's actually a zolly, I think.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Yeah, that's Zolly lunata, the lunate zolly moth.
So is that what people will call a luna moth?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's called lunate because of the curvy lines in the wing.
Oh, I see. It's called
It's
lunate
also
because of the
highly
curvy.
variable. I collected about 50 of those, thinking I had a whole bunch of different species before I finally figured out they're all the same thing.
You guys didn't hear that. He said that he collected about 50 of those lunate moths, and thinking that they were all different species, and it turns out that they were all the same thing.
Moths are notoriously variable.
Well, so are people. He said moths are notoriously variable.
In appearance.
Yeah, again, so are people.
Things that seem to be completely different. Not really. I mean, sometimes you get things where the males and the females are in no way alike. But, oh, there's my idea. We never had any real catastrophes to do last year. It was a good catastrophe. But it was warmer than this. And here we've got a lot of little guys, I think.
Is that a cockroach?
There's a wood roach, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, now that's
This one up here.
That one is, yeah.
So are they just feeding on this nectar right now? This
Yeah, they just feed on the bait. They get a little drunk.
Oh, well, it's fermented.
In the winter, they get very drunk, and they get quite sluggish, and they can't fly. And if they disturb, they just fall off the tree. You can pick them up.
He said when they get too drunk off of the fermented bait, they'll just fall to the ground. You can pick them up. Have you been seeing a lot of spotted lanternflies in Galloway? I have been on some other Facebook groups and seen some reports of them.
I have yet to see one.
Yeah, Jamie says he hasn't seen one yet.
Okay. That's an armyworm. That's a copper underwing. That,
Oh, what's that beautiful one right
that's
there?
a copper underwing.
Copper underwing.
Yeah. If you could get it to spread its wings, it is coppery underneath. Has a coppery shine.
Julianne wants to know if moths have ears. Well, they have
Yeah.
antennae.
Oh yeah. You know why they need ears? Let me get a picture of this guy because I'd like to try and...
Wait, do they have ears other than their antennae?
Yeah.
Oh. Why do they need ears?
These noctuid moths have ears. They're tympanum. It's a tympanum just like a grasshopper has.
Julianne, I did not know this. Why do they need that?
Well, think about who they're worried about when they're flying around.
I imagine it's bats.
You got it. And how
Oh,
the
so
bats
they're
prey.
listening for bats?
Stink
Huh.
moths are really good at evading bats. Oh, here we go.
Ooh,
that's
that's a
another
big
one.
one.
You may take
A copper
off.
underwing?
Oh, no, there he went. You see the underwing? You see the
Yeah,
color?
yeah, I see it. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Let's see if we hold still. Maybe he'll land on Jamie.
Put the light back on the bait. That was probably Catocala ilia. One of the larger ones.
They're really skittish, guys.
They have gorgeous red and black striped underwings.
So is that a predator defense, kind of like the blue?
You mean the startle?
Yeah,
Yeah, is it a startle pattern?
yeah.
Probably.
A startle pattern. That's what he called it. A startle pattern. Something that when you flap the wings, it startles the predators.
But then there are some that are black. So
More
let's see
ants.
what that means.
Jamie is single-handedly responsible for making all of the insects in this forest alcoholics. Because they're all getting drunk off of this fermented juice. This is all your land, Jamie?
10 acres. Oops, there was another volleyball. This is really in a bad spot.
Yeah, and I'm staring at the camera.
You get used to it after a while.
Julianne wants to know if moths are pollinators.
Yes.
Yes. He said that pretty affirmatively. What?
Important, very important.
He says very important pollinators.
Some of these flowers we have around here are actually moth flowers.
Oh, that looks like another one that you put the bait on.
Put a bait on one that's so hard to get. Oh, I know, because I came through the woods. Another one that ants are starting to. You got too many ants.
Well, you just need to be more like E.O. Wilson and study ants.
I do, actually. Sometimes. Or I did for a while.
If you guys don't know, E.O. Wilson is one of the founders of ecology in the United States, really one of the biggest players, and he made his career studying ants and inspired generations of entomologists or people that study bugs. Hey, is he still alive?
Yeah, so anyway, the sphinx moths and the noctuid.
They can't hear you. They can't
There's
hear you.
some good
Hang on, I'll
stuff.
get in front. I'll get in front.
Well, I was going to let you repeat what I was saying.
No, it's okay.
The sphinx moths and some of the big noctuid moths, like those Catocalas, have pretty good ears. And they can take evasive action when they hear the bat sonar.
So when they hear the sound of the
So if you
bats,
study the moths when they're flying, you put them in a big arena and let them fly, and then you play the bat, you can see their flight patterns change.
oh, that's pretty cool.
That's a study. That was actually written up in Scientific American a number of years ago.
Huh.
That, and there's a really good study of how winter moths thermoregulate. How they keep themselves warm enough to fly, even in New England where the temperatures don't get out of the 30s.
How do the winter moths keep up the heat?
Metabolic heat and countercurrent heat exchange.
Metabolic heat and countercurrent heat exchange. Oh my goodness gracious. That's a lot of terminology. I don't know if I can explain that in simple terms right now.
It's the same way a porpoise keeps his flippers from getting cold.
Yeah, it's a great way. Oh, what, that orange one?
Yeah. You see the underwing.
That's the catalpa moth?
Catocala. Catocala. Catocala.
Catocala.
That's probably Catocala ultronia.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, they're nice, aren't they? What is that guy? Not a Catocala.
Got a wood roach.
Yeah. My problem is with the mask on, my glasses fog.
Yeah.
I'm a lost soul.
Everybody with masks and glasses feels your pain.
The other thing it tells you is your equipment's not tight.
If bats eat moths, what eat bats? Well, snakes.
Other bats.
Other bats. Not too much during the nighttime.
Really big spiders.
Really big spiders. Not around here.
Owls.
Oh, owls. Yeah, owls will eat moths.
Owls will eat moths and bats. I mean, some owls probably most of them eat moths. You know, like beach owls or solid owls. Oh,
There's another one.
On one of these pines.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. I see it.
This is a white pine. He's a planted in this hedgerow. Oh, see, I made a loud sound and really scared him that time.
You're not a hunter. Scare off all the deer.
Oh, I gotta think of what that thing is. Come on, I just saw the name that was down.
Bats are carnivores? Oh my goodness, Mara, did you think that all bats ate fruit? Oh. Only fruit bats eat fruit.
Most bats eat insects,
Yeah, most bats eat insects.
but some are fishing bats.
That's why I don't like bats. I mean, they're cute and everything, but bats are gross. I mean, they're cute, but they're gross.
Bats
I mean, they're
fish.
cute. What?
Not Pilionic bats get fish. Some of them.
Yeah, some of them can get fish. I have a love-hate relationship with bats. I love them because they take care of all the insects, and when somebody else catches them, they're cute and adorable, but I don't like them.
Have you ever seen them come to a hummingbird feeder?
To a hummingbird feeder?
In Arizona at the Southwest Field Station. They have big hummingbird feeders out, which in the daytime get all kinds of cool western hummingbirds, but at night they get these huge bats.
Huh. Just looking for the sugar?
It's a little creepy the first time you go out at night and see bats flying around the hummingbird feeders. Well, they're pollinators. They're nectar feeders. They also eat insects. Yeah. There's a daddy long legs. That's about it. Well, anyway.
Going back to the
You
light.
get the idea.
All right, folks. Let's see what else is on
One of
that.
the problems of studying moths is none of these methods are quantitative. In the case of something like the light trap, we don't even know how large an area we're sensing.
Well, isn't it however long, however...
You're welcome to, you can compare things like catch per unit of effort, how many moths come to your light every hour, but there's no...
Alana asks, why are moths and other insects so attracted to light? Well, they're trying to guide themselves according to moonlight, but we're...
And in fact, one of the reasons this may not be the best night is because the moon is out.
Right.
And with the moon, Oddly enough, this light, as bright as it is, doesn't compete very well with the moon.
Well, the moon's was under
Yeah,
clouds.
It'll work.
Julianne wants to know if any moths can bite.
Uh,
Not really.
There's one moth that has mandibles, but I doubt if it can bite.
At least not humans.
One group of moths that do not have a proboscis. Moths are like hemipterans, in their mouth parts are modified. But in the moths, it's a coiled tube, and they can stick it out. And in fact, if you got close enough, or you were looking carefully when you had the moths on the bait, I should have said something. You would have seen them sticking their long tongues out.
Oh, is that one of your bees right there, or one of your hornets?
Yes, one did show up and they're gone.
Yeah. That's a.
What did you call this one?
That's the European hornet.
The European
that's
hornet.
Fabro. Very bad stinger. And they make those big carton nests.
Let's see if I can get close to it.
That's one we could put in the jar and kill.
Oh, I ain't putting it in the jar. European hornet, folks.
That's an introduction. I guess you could consider it an invasive pest. Nobody likes them very much.
Not seeing too much else that's different here. All right, folks. Tell you what, I think I'm gonna sign off here. Nicole says I've had the best luck with blue light on a white sheet to attract moths at night. You can use blue light as well, yeah?
Yeah, they're more sensitive to blue. Red won't work.
Red won't work, but blue will.
A little bit. But the best thing, if you can't get a whole UV light setup like this, they now sell ones just for moths that have actually a different frequency spectrum than a regular mercury vapor light. Basically, you can't buy mercury vapor lights anymore. You can actually buy the bulbs to replace existing ones, but you can't buy those ballasts.
Oh, okay.
So you can't buy a whole mercury vapor setup. But they have now different ones with different vapors, you know, different materials. There's a really nice rosy maple moth here.
We'll do another rosy maple moth because they're adorable.
No, this is so slow.
Oh, it's good. There's another one. We're gonna sign off with the rosy maple moth here. All right. Thanks for the suggestion, Lorianne. We actually did a cranberry bog 2 weeks ago, but I'll do another one. That'd be fun. Let's see if I can get like a cranberry bog owner to do a live stream with me. All right, all. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.